Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Maria from Underthenightmoon, and I'm so excited to be here tonight to do a craft with me free tutorial for a new kit that I've made for my Etsy shop. This kit is going to make one absolutely beautiful Blessed Mother card. It's a card that I made, handmade, shaped like a tag. It opens, it's blank on the inside so that you can write a beautiful message. I even stamped the back that says handmade by, and there's a space for you to sign your name, which I think is really fun if this is going to be for teenagers or young adults that love to craft. This is very easy to make. It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, everything you need. And then I wanted this, I was inspired by feedback recently about a Mary tag that was purchased, and she said she wanted to keep it for herself, but she had bought it for a gift. And so that just inspired me to do like a gift card. And so what I love is that I even have a stamp that stamps this cute little for you tag. So of course you could keep this for yourself and put it in your journal or your prayer journal, but if you were going to pair this with a gift, I thought it would be fun to just go ahead and give you the cute little for you tag because it matches so beautifully. And then of course you could also put the little tag inside here that's for you. You could put a gift card with it. So yeah, this is designed to be you know, a gift card, but it could be used for many things. But I just absolutely love, this is one of my favorite images from Debrina over at the Pixie Dust Files. She created this digital set for me years ago. It's in my Etsy shop right now. And it's just, this is the most beautiful image. I just love everything about it. The roses, the colors, the vintage imagery that she chose. And so when I was, you know, starting to put this set together, I knew right away I was going to use this image. So absolutely beautiful. And so what you get in this kit is the card and everything you need to make the card, and then this beautiful embossed envelope. And the card is embossed as well, which I will show you coming up. So this is going to show you how to make this kit. I have made a whole bunch of these. They're already finished. As you can see, they're already all in my Etsy shop. I'm going to move these out of the way because I think they're putting a glare. So if there's a glare, I'm sorry. I'm kind of trying to eliminate. I think it's over here. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to keep this paper here. But we are going to create this beautiful card kit, and this is also, I just want to mention, absolutely all occasion. This could be for a wedding, a bride, a bridesmaid, a mother, mother-in-law, grandmother. I mean, it's just absolutely universal. Christmas, I did use the red rose just to kind of link it into Christmas if you had a very special gift. And the envelope as well. If you wanted to mail it, it does fit in the envelope, which I will show you at the end. So, okay, here is the kit itself. And then the tools that you will need, the only thing you're really going to need is glue. And if you have done craft with me's before, you know I love the Fabri-Tac. Of course, you can use the Aleene's. I do like to use hot glue. But if you don't like hot glue, I think even a tape runner could work for some of this. Not all the laces and things, obviously you're going to need a strong glue for, but the paper things you could use a tape runner for. And then sharp scissors, and that's just to trim the ribbons or, you know, anything that might need trimmed, which everything should be you know, cut to size in here, but just in case, sharp scissors are a must. And so I'm going to show you what you get inside the kit. It's going to come wrapped up just like this, and then here's the bag of finishing touches, and in here are all the little pieces, the roses, the ribbons and things. And then I did I went ahead and did some glitter on here, but there's always room for more, and I will show you at the end where we will just use a little bit of gold glitter on here. So if that's something that you like, I highly recommend adding that to your craft room because it looks beautiful on everything. So you get the image, you get this super fun little gift tag just in case you have a candle or a special gift. You can use this, and then held together with this really fun sparkly twine are the pieces to the card. So you're going to receive this absolutely beautiful embossed plain white envelope. Oh, and then this is 5 by 7, right? No, wait, hold on. Yeah. No. 5 by 5, is that right? Hold on. I think it was 5 by, no, wait, Maria. Numbers are not my, like, okay, yeah, 3.5. Come on, Maria. 3.5 by 5, yikes. But I guess I just wanted to say it's going to fit. Is that A4? 5.5 by 4. I know it's a standard size. I just, yeah, numbers are not my friend. Okay, but anyway, so you get this beautiful embossed envelope, and then you get a beautiful embossed layering, and then you get the card. And it's blank, ready for your story, and then the beautiful handmade by stamp on the back. So this is how it comes in the kit, just like this. And I already opened one, so I'm going to put this back, but I just wanted to mention, usually my kits in the finishing touches are little pieces. There's a lot of little details. So I always recommend when you open up the kit, especially this little bag, that you have a bucket or a bowl or something to put all of the pieces in. And so I have this white bowl right here with everything. So I'm going to put this off to the side. And you can see it's the same. The beautiful layering piece, the card with the handmade stamp, the imagery. You've got your ribbons. This has a double bow, 2 different types of ribbons. There's a seam binding and then also a satin. You're going to get a piece of the beautiful gold. Let me switch this to the side. You're going to get the beautiful gold lace on the edge, the roses. Here's the little gift tag, some beautiful sparkle tulle with gold stars on it, so pretty. And then these little gold, you get 4 little gold, they're not cabochons, they're just like little gold dots to just sort of outline the image here. Okay, so oh, and then a little piece of ribbon to make it look like a tag, which I just thought was a fun little accent. And then 3 little beautiful sparkly sparkles just above her crown there. I was going to put a crown up there, but it was kind of too heavy and it took away from the beautiful imagery. So I went with these little sparkly pieces. So those are the little things that are in this kit. And so I always recommend put everything in a bowl so that you don't lose it. And you will be good to go. Okay, so I'm putting everything back in the bowl. Gonna put this off to the side. Wait till you see, this is gonna be a very easy one. This would be good for all ages. Absolutely all ages can do this one. And I think there is no hard part, but the hardest part, it's not even hard, is just to kind of put this on the card. And I recommend doing this part first, because once you put everything on here, I think it's just easier to line up the sides. Let me move this so you can see. I think it'll be easier to line up the 2 sides with nothing on it. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that your card is opening right way, right? And then if you do have the grid, I did use the grid. I use the grid all the time because this is where you want to make sure that it's nice and straight. Okay, so this is where you could use a tape runner because you can line it up really nice and you don't have to worry about it drying. I would not use hot glue on here because of the embossing. And when paper is embossed, the image, the design is pushed through the paper, and so if you put hot glue on there, there's a chance that it could tear. And so we definitely don't want to use hot glue on embossed papers. So I have the Fabri-Tac here. I was going to use a tape runner, but it's okay. This will work just fine. And even if this goes into a journal where you're going to write inside or you're going to make it a tip-in, a flip, it's still pretty durable. You don't have to worry, you know, about it coming undone, as long as you use, you know, a good Fabri-Tac here or a good tape runner. And so I'm just going to go all the way around, not too much. I don't want it oozing out the sides. And of course the Fabri-Tac gives you plenty of time to center. And then just a little in the center. This is very strong glue. You just want to make sure you've got the actual shape of the tag. And then I would put the top back on that because it dries and gets really thick and hard to squeeze out. Okay, so I'm straight up, and then I'm just gonna align the top with the top. And once you like it, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's already cut perfect. I used a tag punch board to make these. I would show that to you, but it's over on my other desk. So I know that they are all absolutely perfectly in sync. And that's it. Once you have that down, give it a light press. Oh, and always wash your hands before you start. I'm sure you do already have clean hands, but just in case, I've been really making sure all the time. That could just be me getting older and like more OCD maybe, I don't know. Okay, so once that's down, I just give it a nice light press. And then the next thing we're going to do is attach the little tag. It's like a faux tag loop right up here. And this is where we're going to use a little bit of hot glue, only because it dries fast. You could use the Fabri-Tac and hold it, but for video purposes, we are going to use the hot glue. And so inside the finishing touches, you're going to receive the 2 longer ribbons for the bow, and then one that's about maybe 2 or 3 inches. And I gave you extra, so this is where we might give it a trim. But it's going to be tucked behind the Mary image here. So, you know, if it doesn't cut perfectly or whatever, it's okay. The main thing we want to do is make the loop facing forward so that the 2 pieces hanging down are flush, so that it lays flat underneath. So it hangs like so, and it just really just looks prettier than if we did this, right? This one is on top, is kind of weird. So all we're going to do is take the left side and flip it over so it looks like a U. Can you see? Let me move the white out of the way. So I'll do this again for you, just in case. So this, I started doing this when I started making wall hangings, and I used to do little shaker wall hangings, and so I wanted it to look cute as it was hanging. And so all you're gonna do is just bring the loop around so that the 2 pieces in the front are flat, like here. Then you're just going to put one right on top of the other one, You see how it makes that nice little loop? You see, I hope? Yeah. Okay, and you're gonna hold it down, and then you're just gonna put a little dot of hot glue, just enough to keep it together on one of them. And you're just gonna give that a press. Okay, now it's pretty long, so I put the glue right about here, so I'm gonna trim off a little, just so that I don't have, you know, a big lump right here. Just gonna give it a little trim. Like so. So now I have enough space here to put another dab of glue and put it behind the Mary image, like so. And really, you're just going to be centering it right behind. It doesn't have to be perfect, but because Debrina does the roses all the way around, if you just put it in between the roses, it'll be fine. Okay? And you can either put the glue on here and bring the ribbon to it, which might be better if your hands get kind of shaky. Sometimes my hands shake, especially if it's cold. So you could do this sort of thing, or you could put the little dab of glue and bring it and hold it up close. I think either one works. For me right now, my hands are pretty warmed up because I just finished a large book. And so I'm gonna just do this. And even with hot glue, it gives you a few minutes. I'm gonna hang it to where I like the amount of ribbon showing and press it down. And that's something to think about too before you put the glue on, is how far up or down you want it. And of course you can hold it up to your card and see how it's gonna look there as well. And it's just so beautiful. It's hard it's hard to mess this one up because it's so absolutely beautiful. Okay, so then also in the finishing touches is a piece of this really beautiful gold lace, which I use this all the time. And we're just gonna edge the side here, just like a beautiful Christmas ornament or just a beautiful card, just a little piece of gold. And again, always make sure you have the right side of the lace, usually where the ugly stitching is. I always have to double check. And then for this one, I'm going to run the glue along the side here. Now again, you could use the Fabri-Tac. You just have to hold it down. And then I'm just going to put it right over the stitching. Right over the stitching, so that just the really pretty gold is there. I'm going to give it a little press. I'm going to take my time. Line it up first before you put the glue. Always, always, always take your time, right? You don't ever have to rush. Even if the glue is down, you could let the glue dry for a few minutes. You can peel it off. This is cardstock. I use all the cardstock I use is Nina Bright White, and it's very forgiving. Very, very, very forgiving. It's sturdy. So yeah. But even still, this is this is a very easy kit. I'm happy. I think this one is definitely easier than the last one that we did, the Marie one. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is put the bows together. Now the thing about the bows is, well no, we got to attach this, then the bows, but the thing that we want to do when we attach the bows is make sure it's up from the bottom. Okay, how do I explain that? Okay, so again, we're going to line up Mary here, but we want to make sure that we have enough space on the bottom for the bows. And that's why I like doing this tutorial, so that you can watch this tutorial. And I've even done certain crafts. I was just watching one on marbling paper, because I just love watching paper marbling, right? Do you all like watching that? I could watch that forever, especially if they do like the scarves. oh my gosh, there's this one that I was watching in Italy, and this woman was like a master colorist, and oh my gosh, it was so gorgeous. If I can find it, which it should be in my history, I will link it down below. So anyway, I kept stopping and watching and stopping and watching. So you can do that here as well. Stop and watch. So anyway, we're just going to make sure we have enough room under here for our bows, because if we put this too far down, right, if we're going too fast, or we're not thinking about the top part, we just want to put it on there. Well, this is where we want to stop and take our time and make sure that our little ribbon is right. You know, it's a handmade thing, so it's okay if it's a little up, but you kind of want to make sure that you've got room for your bows and this is all centered before you glue. And so I can see here that I am just about aligned, and this is a little bit bigger than this one, so you can kind of see yours might come out a little bit different. It's okay as long as you have this bottom space. And if you like measurements, let's just for fun, it's about 1 inch from the bottom of the card. Okay, so if you are using a grid, each one of these blocks is 1 inch, so you can just line it up like so, or however it looks good for your eye. I tend to eyeball things. I like it a little higher. So between the measurement and your eye, I think you'll be just fine. Now this is where I'm going to use the hot glue because of the ribbon above. We've got the gold ribbon on the side. We really want to make sure this part gets stuck down well. You can use the Fabri-Tac, or you can even use the Aleene's tacky glue. Just put extra, now not too much so it's not oozing out everywhere, but you want to just make sure that you get a good connection under the lace. Not the lace ruffle, but where the stitching is, right? Because that's the heaviest part. So you really want to make sure that that part gets stuck down really well. If you're using a tape runner, which might work, I wouldn't use a tape runner actually. I wouldn't use a tape runner because if you put this in an envelope and you take it out, it could get caught on the envelope. So yeah, no tape runner. Okay, so right here, we just want to make sure we get a good connection right there. And that's true with everything that I make. I always make sure that where I have the lace, the heavy parts, I use a good amount of glue. And then just eyeballing it here, making sure I'm centered before I press it down, like so. And don't forget, this is a handmade by whoever. And so all these little touches, oh, about my poor hot glue gun. All of these little touches, if it comes out a little, you know, whatever, it's okay, because honestly, people love handmade items more than anything else. They truly do. I can tell you, I've always made handmade things, and people keep handmade things much longer. Okay, now I'm just gathering the next few items. We've got our roses, our ribbons, and then I'm going to keep the little gold things. That's the last thing. The last thing we're going to do is the gold and the little sparkly bits up top. But I do want to just pause for a second because this is so fun. Now these, I stamped all of these and cut them all out. You can add this to your card, okay? You could do something like this. You could put it underneath the bows like this. It's totally up to you how you want to use this. Or you could put a gift card inside here. Just put a little piece of washi tape here and the gift card. You could tie this onto a candle and give this in its beautiful envelope and use that as a gift. So it's really just a fun thing for you to think about. And before we glue everything in the bows, I just thought, okay, well, if you wanted to incorporate this on top of the card, you could. Now I will show you how this goes in the envelope right here, and that's really the only thing you need to worry about. Now if you were going to mail this, I would wrap this in tissue paper, and you have plenty of room in here to wrap that, but I would wrap it in tissue paper. And then sometimes I would put an extra piece of cardstock on top just to be safe. And then I would also bring it inside to be mailed, like so. Or you could just put it like this, write your message like this, and then put this whole thing into a like bubble mailer or something. But if it's just going as a gift, then you could just put it inside here, put a little piece of washi tape, and then they can enjoy this beautiful envelope. Okay, but if the tag is hanging down like this, well, you're gonna have to be able to, you know, move it out of the way to get into the envelope. So just something for you to think about before you start, playing around with how you want it. Just make sure that it will give you clearance into the envelope. I hope that made sense. Okay, so now what we're going to do are the bows. And I love double bows, triple bows. I love textures. I love mixing textures together. Seam binding and satin go really, really beautiful together. And I did scrunch these up a bit because I just like the scrunched up, shabby kind of a look. And for this one, I did the satin first, so it's kind of like in the background. And then I put the beautiful seam binding on top. So that's what we're gonna do. And this is where a good sharp pair of scissors will be handy, because I did give extra ribbon, and hopefully you can see. So for the bow, we're just gonna take about 2 inches of a tail, wrap it around into a loop, and then once we get the bow shape, then we can kind of wiggle it around to our liking. And it doesn't have to be that big. Now you could do the bows however you like. Now you can see there's a plenty extra. You can have a nice big bow on here. If you're not going to put it in the envelope, you could make a really big one. Let's just see how that is gonna look. I wanted to make sure that it would go in the envelope. I wanted it to just be a nice compact little design, not too much hanging and fluffing, you know. I just wanted that image to really be the star. So once I get the loops where I like, I'm gonna put this down, and then I'm gonna build the second one. I'm not gonna glue them. I'm going to do the same thing, about a 2-inch tail, wrap it around, get my shape. Seam binding is so beautiful. Never get tired of working with seam binding. Okay, and I don't pull it too tight because of the way it's woven. I like to keep it kind of loose until I like the way it looks, and then once I like the way the loops look, then I will pull it tight. I'm gonna give them a little fluff, make sure they're all going the right way. And so I kind of like that, they're nice and even. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it. Then we can kind of wiggle it. You can't mess seam binding up, I really don't think. And even if you did, once you glue it down, you still have a chance to fluff it back up. And I just love the woven, the little bit of shininess to it. I just love seam binding. It's so elegant and pretty. Okay, so now we're going to take the 2 bows together, and we're going to form like a little fluffy bow, making sure our little side tails, we're not trimming anything yet. And you can do this on the desk. I like to just kind of squish them together and fluff them until I like the way it looks. like this. And so you kind of pinching it together so that you like the way that looks. I like the way the loops look. You can see all 4 loops. So once I like the way that looks, I'm going to go ahead and put like a pencil eraser dab worth of glue. Enough glue for the 2 knots. So that's like a pencil eraser to me. And this is where I like hot glue because it's gonna hold them down instantly. Again, we're gonna go right in the center, right below this. And we're just gonna put that down, put our bows into the glue, give it another little squeeze, and hold it down. And while I'm holding it down, I'm pulling up the bows, giving them a little love and height, like so. So pretty, so pretty. Now we're gonna go ahead and trim. Seam binding, always trim on the bias. If you don't, it's gonna ravel all the way down to nothing. So what I like to do is cut on the bias, and again, for me, I didn't want all the hanging ribbons. I'm gonna do this one first because it's on top. Always on the bias. All ribbon can be on the bias. Or you could do the fishtail. I know I showed you that in the last one. You can hold the ribbon so you make sure you get a good cut, like so. And that's that. Double check, make sure it's even, that you don't have you know, too much on one side or the other. And that's done. So pretty. Okay, now we're going to do our tulle, this beautiful, delicate golden star, whoops, little center here. And this adds the prettiest touch on these projects. I absolutely love these tools. So I'm going to fold it in half. And the reason why I fold it in half is to make sure that the stars are going to be facing up. Once I'm going to tie a knot in the center, but I fold it in half so that it doesn't come out wonky on one side like that. Okay? And it still might, but folding it in half just kind of helps it stay going that way, if that makes sense. And we're just going to tie it in a little knot. Slowly, we're not pulling it because we want to make sure that our knot is in the center. So just kind of a little bit tighter, a little bit tighter. And you can see how folding it in half, we have been able to keep the stars in the right direction. I hope you can see that. Yeah. And then again, once we like it, you don't have to pull this too tight. In fact, I wouldn't because it's very delicate. It could just snap right in half. So just a light pull, and that's done. And then wait till you see how beautiful, once you lay this down, it's so elegant and pretty. It's just the right touch. I just love this stuff. Okay, and then again, we're gonna put a dot of glue about the same size as the knot, right on the top there. And we're gonna press it in, just right in the center of the other 2 knots. The roses are gonna cover them up, just so it doesn't, that part doesn't have to be perfect. And I don't mind if this is kind of framing the image. In fact, I actually like it just like that. Excuse me. Okay, so now I'm just doing another glue stick here. So now we're gonna add the roses, and then we are almost done. I'm telling you, this is the most beautiful, gratifying project. And I really did dream it up. I just dreamt and dreamt about what I wanted to see and what I wanted to do, and I'm so grateful that I have an imagination like that where I can see things. Yeah. Okay, so now you can do either the white or the red. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. However you want to do it is fine. I think I liked the red closer to these red roses here, but you can see it looks just as lovely like that. So staying true to my kit, I'm just going to put again, I like the hot glue because of the bonding. I'm going to put this one a little bit towards the front so that I've got room for the second one. Okay, so you can see how it's just a little forward, and then this one will be facing down, sort of. Really, all you just want to do is make sure you cover up the knots in the bows. Isn't that beautiful? I just love this whole project. I'm going to give this card to my sister. Yeah. If you want to say a prayer for her, her little doggy is so old, and he's just not doing so good right now. Little doggy's name is Max, and I love him. He's so cute. So yeah, if you want to say a few prayers for little Max. Okay, now, because of the embossing, I just want you to know I did play around with inks. You know, I put a little of the pink ink on there. I tried a little bit of gold. I tried the tea dye. I have all different colors of inks and things, but I kept going back to the white because the white is so elegant with this image. Plus, it also just matched the beautiful envelope as well. Like, I love the creams and the whites. I just think it's so elegant. So if you're wondering, you know, why we didn't do that, I tried it. And usually I like to do a little color over the embossing, but not for this project. I just wanted it to stay so pretty. And again, if this is for a christening or a baptism or you know, anything like that, this card is so universal. I love that. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do are the sparkly bits, and then we're done. And then you can, if you want to hang out still, I'm just going to show you really quickly. I have a flip through coming of this absolutely massive hardcover real book covers journal coming up. So if that's something you want to hang out for, that's coming up. Okay, so now we are going to go and get all of our little sparkly bits. So you've got 4 of these really fun golden dots, and then I also used some of these iridescent sparkles, and I already lost it. So this is why you really want to make sure that you dump everything in a bowl before you start, because for photographing I had everything out, and you see I lost it. So okay, so the 4, now again, if you want, and if you have tweezers, okay, which I have been using these, I didn't need to before, but I don't know, the chubby Italian hands sometimes you know, don't work. And these, you don't have to squeeze or anything. It's so easy to pick these up. So I highly recommend these if you need them. Don't, you know, these are super cheap. But so I chose to put these just below the roses, right? Just below, as Debrina put the roses in all 4 corners. I just kind of wanted to highlight that. But again, you can play around and put these wherever you like. We're going to put the, so you could do, if you wanted, you could put all 4 along the side here. That would work. Very nice. And again, if you do have these tweezers, it does allow you movement instead of me trying to pick them up, right? So you could do something like that. You could put them right on the actual, or you could just use 3, like so. But for me, I just like symmetry. It was just enough to give her a little extra special because the Mother of God in my opinion, always deserves a little something special for her saying yes. And then I will use the Fabri-Tac for these. Now you could use hot glue, but you don't have a lot of drying time. This will give you much more drying time. And so I don't know if you noticed, and again, line it up, make sure you're looking right over it. And also too, this allows you to move it, right? This glue is very, very forgiving in that regard. So I'm going to take them off. And the other thing you can do is put all 4 dabs of glue on, and that way you know it's straight. And so we're going to do that. So I know I want them right where those leaves kind of are. So I'm going to let this get down to the nozzle thingy there. And I'm going to just go ahead and put eyeballing. This dries clear. 4 dabs. Making sure I don't get it on the card over here. And if you do, it's okay. It rolls right off. It's another reason why you want to use this Fabri-Tac. And you're just going to place them in. You're not going to press them down until you like where they are. And I'll do 2 with my chubby fingers. As you can see, it's not that hard with your chubby fingers. If you have chubby fingers like me, you can still do it. Ah. Okay, so now you can see they need a little straightening. So I'm going to slide this one up. And then once they're even and you like where they are, making sure that you're straight, then you can push them down. And you don't have to push hard. You just want to make sure that they secure to the paper. Same for the top. Make sure your head is over, looking down. And again, if it's slightly off, it doesn't matter. It's a handmade card, you know. People love handmade cards. And voila. Okay, so the very last thing we're going to do, well, we are going to add some gold, but so this is on a sticky back, right? These are stickers. I'm still going to put down some Fabri-Tac because I don't want anything funny happening. And I chose to put these right below the ribbon here. So I'm just going to put a little dab of glue. And then I'm going to peel these off. And you'll see they're going to be sticky, but not too crazy. You can work with them. And then right below or right above her crown of stars, you're going to just place those into the glue. And then I do press it down a bit just to make sure that it adheres. Now, do you have to use glue? No, but again, if you're going to put it into an envelope, you don't want these getting caught and coming off. I like things to be well made and secure, you know. And so there we go. Now, we are done technically, right? You've got to sign the back, and of course, if this is going to someone, that sort of thing. However, I always add, especially with Mary, some of my gold paint. Now, this is called Extreme Glitter. It's gold from Folk Art. I'm pretty sure I got it at Hobby Lobby. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I don't ever really shake it. I usually just use what's in the cap there. And I always have a little paintbrush here off to the side. So you're going to need a little paintbrush. I suppose you could use a Q-tip too, because we're not going to put a lot of it on there. But I think a small paintbrush that's been dipped in a little bit of water so it's moist. And that's just so the bristles go. And you can just kind of fan it out. And then what I like to do is just go over the roses. I like to go over just the tips of the beautiful petals. And it looks kind of ugly now, but when it dries, it's super pretty. And then I do like to go over the roses, the digital roses here. again, when that dries, it's just gonna have the prettiest little bit of sheen. Of course, you can do a little on Mary's dress. I did put glitter on baby Jesus here, and I did some on his he's holding, it looks like a ball with a cross on it. I am Catholic, I should know what that is, but I don't. And then I'm gonna just do her beautiful garment, a little bit on her veil, just ever so slightly, just a little bit. This is optional, you don't have to do it, because I already added glitter, and you can see it sparkling away. It sparkles much better in person. I added silver in a circle around the frame, and then I used the iridescent crystal stickles on her crown of stars, on Jesus' robe, and on his halo. So it's very sparkly. So if you want to go the extra step and just put a little gold on the roses, you can, but it's not necessary. But I do like to just do a little more for you. And that's it, everyone. That concludes this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely let me know in the comments below what you think of everything. And if you want to hang out and see more of my work, I've got the flip through coming up of this really large book. Again, these are in my Etsy shop, ready for Christmas. There is limited amount, so I tried to make extra so that hopefully they would last through Christmas. But what else? Just thank you for watching. Follow me on Instagram if you don't already. If you do, thank you so much. Of course, subscribe if you're new to my channel. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. And then also just thank you everyone for your absolutely beautiful feedback regarding my work. Oh my goodness, I've received, Glenda, your feedback was amazing. Laura, everyone, Stephanie, there's so many amazing people that I have gotten to just send things to and get to know, kind of, and you know, it's really beautiful, and I'm forever grateful for Etsy because of that. And also for YouTube, to be able to have a platform to do things like this, to show you how to make these beautiful things. It's just amazing, and I truly, truly am grateful. So thank you. Have a great rest of your day or night, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.